Hey y'all, you're listening to Diagnosing Sitcoms and Movies, the DSM podcast. We help make mental health more comfortable by using Black movies and shows we know and love and culture to remove stigma. So join our convo with your host, Courtney Copeland, licensed mental health counselor,
and Dr. B, licensed professional counselor.
What's poppin', y'all? This episode, we are talking about the 1994 action comedy, A Low-Down Dirty Shame.
Shame! That's right. I had to.
I was gonna jump right in. I had you.
You did. I appreciate it, friend.
So for the listeners that might be new to our channel, our podcast, our home, first, welcome. And second, about almost every other film, we do a Wayans Brothers movie. So,
since day one, we've been on it. My goodness.
They literally were our pilot. Was see oh, do we really want to do a podcast? Let's talk about more money.
More money, more money, more money.
Yes. And here we are talking about a singular Wayans in this film, surprisingly, but a low-down dirty shame.
Shame. Sorry. Okay. I got it.
Need a button.
We do. Just insert it every time we say shame.
And so this film stars Keenen Ivory Wayans, Jada Pinkett Smith, Corwin Hawkins, aka Amazing Grace, Sally Richardson, Kim was in it. That he was not the only Wayans. Kim was in it. Duh, Courtney. My bad, everyone. And then Charles S. Dutton, who I will from now on refer to as Rock, because that's how I met him. That's how I know him. That's how I love him. Did you have any quotes that stuck out for you? Because I have several, so I'm going to let you just go ahead and go first and, get us going.
I have a few, but I feel like you have majority of them. So you go for it. You go for it. You do your thing.
Get off me, lady. Stop tugging at my silk drawers. Don't love me like you do. Silk drawers and a red tie. I have got to wear these together.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
And then wanted to give a special shout out to my cousin Kilo, because he references this quote the best to me. When Peaches is about to leave for the post office, and Wayman is like, "Oh, Peaches,
on your way to the post office, could you please stop by the store and give me a box of relaxer and make sure that it says Mild?
Last time you got me a Supergirl."
I loved it because when he actually had an interview, and he said in his interview, "Oh, they have this really cool thing where they can spray hair on your head if you need it for a movie." I was like, "Oh, this is that early that we just was figuring this out."
Keenen definitely had his sprayed on, and then if you look in different scenes, it's sprayed on differently. Like one time it's a fade, one time it's a boosie, one time it's there's some scenes. There's a couple that I think they might have done, afterwards, where they went back and was like, spray him on a hairline again, and it wasn't the same that it was before. He definitely had on that like LeBron painted hairline. But I appreciate it because it's a far cry from "I'm gonna get you, sucker," where that hairline was like, child, worse than mine. It was that hairline it was everywhere. That hairline, "I'm gonna get you, sucker." Yeah, you have too much money for that, sir. But he fixed it.
He fixed it. In this one, he was like, "Spray me up, beat me up, shorty."
And then once he, stepped into himself again, he went back to the fresh baldy.
He did.
The man did look good. Clearly, he had these women's fighting over him and whatnot. It was a whole lot going on.
It was.
You calling me a dog?
Listen, I felt that one. I low-key wanted Jada Pinkett to win. I'm not gonna lie.
She did in the end.
I mean, yeah. So it works out, but I still wanted to see the fight, and in that fight, I wanted Jada to win.
This is, I think, my favorite Jada Pinkett movie, because we know. Also, again, listeners, if you're new here, I don't give Jada Pinkett no shorts. I don't give her no breaks.
Short. Pun.
But yeah, none of that. She don't get an easy time around here. But this was my favorite one of her films, I think.
Yeah.
If I off the top of my head, I think so.
Is it because it's a Wayans movie that is your favorite? With her.
I think I didn't know her to be a predatory, messy old little woman. And it helped me just see the character of Peaches.
Wait a minute.
Again, I said it. So in speaking about Jada and Angela's beef in the movie, she was like, I look at your raggedy ass all day. Pocahontas come in here for 5 minutes. Now you want to dress all snazzy.
Well, I mean, speaking of snazzy and Jada Pinkett, she was fly in this movie. Like, low-key, even though Shane kind of tried to diss her and talk about her outfit and say Salt and Pepper must have had a garage sale, but it was cute. I would actually wear it and will still rock it like today. So, sorry, Shane.
For me, with an I, not with an E. And then so been dancing around it, going back to Wayman, who clearly is the star of the movie. Mm-hmm. But when they first run into his white boyfriend, I'm assuming boyfriend, man, friend, buddy, the Bernard.
The Bernard.
Save your tears, honey. You've never had a chance. Coffee's good with cream, but better when it's black.
Ooh. Calm down.
But it was him what he said back, and for you, Mr. Coffee. You want some steamed milk in your double espresso? I'm your man.
Yes, he wanted to jump them bones. Yes. Get up all in that coffee. He did. It's okay. It's all right.
I love Wayman. He was the best. And come to find out, I didn't know that Amazing Grace was Wayman. So like I've seen in the day during that time, I would assume now it would just be drag. But in the back of the day, they was calling it female impersonating. And if I have my terms incorrectly, y'all correct me in the comments, please. But he refers to himself as a female impersonator, and he was on Def Jam and did a whole stand-up. Challenge was funny.
Yeah. You know, for some reason, I feel like I associate this movie and like haven't seen it. And this is the problem with me, friends. I had to watch the movies because sometimes it's like chops in my memory. Because as a kid, like going through the TV station, like the TV channel station, you would pick up in the middle of a random movie. Even now, right? Especially on BET. Shout out to Tyler Perry. And so this would be that particular scene, exactly where you're talking about, will always be up there. And I would love it and find it so funny. And then after that, I'm changing the channel. So that was honestly one of my favorite scenes. Had no idea what movie it came from until recently. I'm ashamed. Slow down, dirty Shane. Shane. Had to. Sorry. Anywho. Yeah, Courtney want to punch me in my face so bad.
This is why we record over Zoom.
Ooh, if we were in person, I feel like you would push me down all the time.
Nope. I would just look at you. I would just force you. You would have to look me in my eyes. Like, no, you're gonna look at me. Look at me.
Play too much.
But it also sounds like, maybe somebody needed to, do a little testing for you, baby. Why your attention span was so short? What's wrong with you, child?
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm so happy that now I get to watch these movies and really have an understanding of what the hell is going on, especially the characters most of the time. Because I don't even know the characters half of the time. Courtney, why are we here? Don't throw me away, please. Okay, anyhow, where were we?
Anywho, I guess, moving along. Oh, when they're in the bar and Mendoza's act like he gonna shoot his own girlfriend in the head. Like, bro, that's the girl that you brought to the club. Why would I care? I don't care that you shoot your girlfriend. You just a bad partner. He's like, I don't give a fuck. She wouldn't give me her phone number anyway. 555-6969. I'm a Scorpio. I love Chinese food. Call me anytime.
She was really trying to get right. She was really trying to get out of there.
Me.
Not gonna get helped, unfortunately.
That's a cautionary warning. Ladies, make sure that you know the person that you're out with. And in the event that, you know, the popos ride up on them, that they won't use you as a hostage. Things to consider when you're dating career criminals.
I just love that we always provide, you know, an educational gem for our listeners.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Because we care, guys.
Yeah, because we care.
The Wayans brothers wanted to be crime fighting action stars so bad.
They did. They really did. I feel like in all of their movies, almost, it seems like there's a role of a police officer to some extent.
Or they fighting the bad guys with Blank Man.
Right. Yeah. And then even with white chicks.
White chicks. There's this Low Down Dirty Shame. There's I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. They was always out here getting the bad guys. They just wanted to save us in a funny way.
That's really interesting because then, so this is categorized obviously as like a action film, right?
Mm-hmm.
So an action comedy.
Yep.
Wasn't that like the theme in the 90s too? There was a lot of like comedy cop movies.
I mean, this is still the case. I mean, that's whole like half of The Rock's career.
I guess you got a point there. But I
Deadpool,
feel like
that's their whole genre.
Oh, not like Deadpool, but like
it's an action comedy.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So,
but they have some serious action ones that they did too. Damon, when he was in the Last Boy Scout, I think was supposed to be more of a serious action film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it got the attention that I feel like, but of course I love them, that I feel like it deserved. But it was still like a really good movie. But I think that they did really well in creating and fleshing out and building this specific genre of the action comedy. I think they do a good job filling that void.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. So they had more genre or they had a wide range in which they can be in as far as acting and their productions. But mostly we see or are familiar with a lot of their action comedies. Yeah.
I think that too, that reminds me, like, because Marlon is such a physical comedian, it's interesting that is like his style and they are like physical in different ways. Like Kenan did a lot of, or at least try to, you could definitely see where that, like, that's not Kenan, but there were some shots where you could actually still see his face. So it does look like he was trying to be more physical and do a lot more of the stunts in this film and everything, which I definitely appreciated. And I think that that's pushing the physicality of like performing in a different way too.
Yeah, I think it was funny because he definitely had clear stuntmen. I think that's also a part of the joke here. I think that's what they go for. Like, yeah, actually, we do want you to show the stuntman being a completely different person, please. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the woman, it could be a full white woman in a wig. It doesn't have to look like Jada Pinkett. It can just make it a short wig. Because those kicks were not her. Child.
At all.
But that Southern University sweatsuit that she had on when she was fighting was fine. I need one. Do they make them for A&T? Because I need one.
Because we need it. It's out there. We're asking. Can we please get one?
Yeah, send it to us. If you listen to the podcast and you know how to get us one, send it to us. We'll wear it. Yeah.
Telling you, she was just fly. She was definitely fly in this. I can't lie. Even though she was like, supposed to be this little sidekick, she was representing.
Let's get into this diagnosis of her, because I was concerned. We need to see if there is a unspecified disorder of delusion. She couldn't separate between what was real, what was fake. She punched Chad in the face at the restaurant. That's an actor, ma'am. He gets paid for those services. He's not Chad in real life. That's not his real name. She saw herself as like being this action. I've been in that. Had she been working and been in it at the range and practicing her karate, sure. But she couldn't separate between what was real in her life and what was going on between her and Shane. Like, Shane with this relationship that she's like, Shane, I love you. I think that was the dramatization of it because she feels like she's in a television show or something, or she's in the As the World Turns and is trying to play up being a character. I need some further assessment. We just got to be able come back here. Come back. Let's do some reality testing. Let's see what you think is real in the world or what is just in your mind, child. Because TV is not real. It's not.
That's deep. So, like, would you say like she's like within a personality disorder like type of delusion, or she's out of that? We got to create a whole new diagnosis for her type of delusion.
I think not personality. No. I think that we could use a fake DSM podcast diagnosis for individuals that feel like they are on a soap opera. I like it.
Okay.
Soap opera. What was the name?
I was just about to ask you what is the name. Soap opera. Yeah. That
an inability to distinguish between fantasy and reality. We can add dramatization and theatricality.
What if we tie in social media into that? And like, no, you don't like that?
No, I like it. I'm considering. That was a pondering. That was a.
Oh, I'm like, oh. Okay, so yeah, because if you think about it, what would that version of her would look like? A lot of the influencers we have now. Yeah. So we should definitely include
TikTok. Not a real place, guys. It's not. It's an app.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh.
And as a mental health professional, these diagnoses that they be telling y'all on TikTok are not real.
Stop it.
Stop diagnosing yourself off of TikTok, please. Please.
Oh,
please.
People are doing that. No.
They're like, oh, ADHD. It's I have a short attention span. I'm neurodivergent because TikTok says so. No, you need full psychological battery of tests to determine that. TikTok is not assessment. I just wanted to make that clear.
So
this podcast is not medical advice. It is not psychiatric advice. Mm-hmm. It is not diagnostic criteria that you meet either. We diagnosing these characters, these make-believe things that's not real. We not diagnosing you. Don't you listen to our show and tell us that you got some form of psychosis because you also think that you are in a delusional relationship with Michael B. Jordan like I do.
Well, look at that. It comes full circle. I love it.
Child, we won't go no whole episode without Michael B. Jordan do not have to be in the movie for us to talk about Michael B. Jordan.
Why is that the case?
I even have on the shirt from his. I got a free T-shirt at his HBCU tournament.
What'd you do for that shirt?
I didn't have to do nothing. They just shot it right at me. Catch it in the numbers.
Damn. You had to have hops for that.
No, I paid the extra and had really good seats because I was trying to get really, really close to him because it was the day before my birthday, but I couldn't get close enough to hug him. Just wanted to share that.
I think soap opera-ism, is that what we're calling it?
Yes, and we can specify it with specifiers of Instagram, TikTok, social media. You can specify it with streaming services or just television. Yeah,
I love it. Did you write that down?
Not at all.
But it's recorded, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's forever out there. We can get transcriptions.
Sure can. Mm-hmm. But yes, I do. I mean, other than just the the delusions. She has a good prognosis, you know. She's gonna be with Shane.
I don't know. No, she not. No, their relationship is not gonna work. Shane told her, we have absolutely nothing in common. That's why, like, have I thought about you in that way before? Yes, I have. You look good. Your booty grew. Yeah. But me and you, we not compatible in that kind of way. And I think that's sometimes, especially when you go through something with somebody, something that we call trauma bonding, it can happen where you then have that emotional attachment to that person. And I think that that is what we are witnessing. I think that there is going to be hot and passionate for like a good 6 months. And then after that, once they get past that, I want to freak you all the time phase. After that, and they got to have like just regular life conversations, it's not going to work no more.
Yeah. And then I get it. Yeah. Because her delusions may not get better.
Not only her delusions, it just doesn't seem like there is the age difference. It does seem like right now where they are, they're kind of looking at different things that they want from relationships. Shane has the history of having serious relationships in the past with Angela, where Peaches don't really have that. And so I think that they just might be a little bit mixed matched, but I think that their friendship will make it okay that they can continue to work together and they can continue to be fine and be cordial and have good relationship with one another after the breakup. It's just going to take a little bit, but because I feel like Peaches is going to try to fight Shane, but maybe shoot him. She might try to shoot him. But after that, I think that they can have a great relationship with each other as friends and as boss and employee and co-workers and friends. But this relationship, I don't see this lasting past year one.
Yeah, son. That sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't even want to see them as couples counseling. That's not even, we're not even going to go that route.
Okay. So in that sense, I do feel like they'll be really good friends. And they'll probably continue to fight crime together.
Yeah. I think that he would give her more responsibility and let her hold the gun sometimes and not just go get in the car.
Yeah, because she held her own. Like, she was stomping on people's toes, punching them in the face. That was a good move, you know?
She also got taken at the hospital. Twice.
Well. All right. I didn't say she had to be good at being a partner. She tried.
You know that will be the she can be the bait. That will be the thing that they dangle out there, and then surprise, she got a Uzi. Like, we can work this out. Yeah, we can make this work to our benefit.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so who's next?
But I want to, before we get into another serious diagnosis, just say that I feel like there is absolutely positively nothing at all diagnosable about Wayman. I feel like he is the most well-adjusted person in the film. I think that he has healthy relationships, good friendships, and clearly has things that he does to enjoy his time and fill his time with. He is loving life and working and taking care and providing for himself effectively. And Wayman is just everything.
He is.
I am woman, stars in the moon. I am everything and everything is me. Whatever Keena said.
Yes, I agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
They clearly had a whole cheer section at the club. Go Wayman, get busy, go crazy, get retarded. Go Wayman, get busy, get crazy, get retarded.
I do. If I could have a friend added to my circle, I would want a friend like Wayman.
Wayman held it down.
He held it down. And he looked like loads of fun. So I'm always for fun.
Do you want, though, like, they're shooting in this club. There's real stuff going on, Wayman. And you pretending you got shot. This is wine. Wayman, get up. He started shaking everything. It's just a wine.
But that's why I need it. I would definitely be the friend in the bed, like, bitch. Yeah.
And the Oscar for Best Actress in a Groovy Nightclub goes to Wayman Harris.
He was everything. I'm glad you mentioned that because yes, I think there is absolutely nothing diagnosable about him. He was just yes,
well-adjusted and healthy.
Well-adjusted. And in a sense, he was a comedy for me, surprisingly. You know, so
I told you, the real star of the film.
Absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely
the breakout
right.
star. Unfortunately, though, this is, I believe, the last film that we see him in. This film was released in 1994 and he passed that same year. And so we don't get to see him blow up Shuey as he should have from his stellar performance in this film. But he was a great talent and we still appreciate the moments that we were given in this film and from Amazing Grace on Def Comedy Jam. Because if you haven't seen that, go Google that and check that YouTube video out. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yes, Wayman just, child. Sharpshooter.
And I feel like everything he said just like accentuated his facial feature. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Except when he got mad at Shane and had to go find Angela in that club when he was.
But it was still everything. Like, how are you still fine with duck lips? I'm that kind of duck lip. Not even the cute little, but he had for real. What's that other bird? The ostrich that people be posting a meme of the ostrich with the face.
I ain't seen that one, child.
Girl, there's this ostrich with the eyeballs, human eyeballs. Look at how I look when I'm ready to eat. So funny. Sidetrack. But yes, he was cute and I loved him.
Yes, we appreciate you, Wayman. Okay, so moving right along to people who I did diagnose though. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say Angela was a narcissist. I wasn't here for it.
Yeah.
Yes, she was fine. Yes, she was fly. Yes, I think at one point in time, maybe she really did have some type of feelings for Shane. But she was gaslighting the hell out of him. She would just, don't worry about it. We could just go make love on the beach. We don't need...
Yeah. Angela was a bit of a biatch.
It was terrible. I felt so bad for Shane. Like, oh, you really do love this woman. And she is not treating you well. It's not okay, Shane. I'm glad that she left. Feel terrible about the manner in which she left because it kind of ruined your life. But maybe you had to go through it to learn. That sounds terrible. That sounds really mean. I didn't mean it like that, Shane. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Because it's a shame.
I hate you. And so, again, guys, we here at the DSM podcast, we use the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This is the 5th edition. However, there's a text revised version that looks nicer and newer that I have around here somewhere, but I couldn't find it before we started recording today, so we're using the other one. But we talk about narcissism quite a lot on this podcast because I guess it just makes for great television and film when the characters are narcissistic and self-centered. It just seems like it adds a little sprinkle that writers put into their characters. And so for the diagnostic criteria that I felt that Angela met, I felt that we definitely get to witness her as having a grandiose sense of self-importance and expects to be recognized as superior, is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited and ideal love, believes that she is special and unique and can only be understood or associated with other special or high status people, requires excessive admiration, has a sense of self-entitlement, definitely, and interpersonally exploited. I mean, she stole the money. She stole all the money and let everyone just fumble around and everyone's lives crumble after she stole the money. And lacking empathy, because it doesn't really seem that she felt bad about it. She was like, you never could have given me what I wanted, which is to be number one. And that's kind of the whole reason why she let everything kind of fall the way that it did, which seems also just it's all about me, and in a very negative way. And even when she killed the Rock, how do you feel about yourself now, stupid motherfucker? Could have had some pussy. Like, bitch, he could have been alive, but you worried about you might have gave him some booty. Okay.
She was pretty ruthless. I wasn't expecting that from her.
I mean, he should have expected something. Why she just start taking her coat off? And once you grab your titties, like maybe he thought she was unhooking the bra, but like,
men are dumb.
Rock was.
I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't have said that. That was me sexualizing and generalizing for.
I was about to say sexualizing. Are you sure? Is that what you meant to say? But I mean, she called him a stupid motherfucker, so it might have just been him. He was a stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but aside from that, she just very exploitive. And I didn't like it. I know she was supposed to be his love interest. No. So, with her being a raging narcissist, how would you treat Angela and just narcissism in general? Because I'm always like, yeah, no, it's terrible. They can learn how to fake it, but that's it. But how do you feel as far as working with individuals that may have narcissistic traits, characteristics, or full-blown personality disorder?
That's a loaded question, because I feel like when treating a personality disorder, like, one, it has to be like a specialization of yours, like that you have to choose to actually want to work with that population. When I hear clinicians say, yes, I love and enjoy working with borderline personality, I'm like, yes, more power to you. I'm glad you're out there working with this population, because it is a challenge. It really is a challenge. And then, some of the things that they're typical, like they're used to doing, some of the behaviors, the way they communicate with people, they're likely going to bring that into session. And so, you have to be mindful and make sure that you're not getting gaslit, and that you're paying attention and picking up on certain behaviors and not getting caught up within that manipulative type of thinking and operating. And so for me, it's a challenge. It is really a challenge, because like, I hate to say this out loud, but sometimes I'm a little gullible, and I'll be like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, oh shit, damn it. They got me.
Foiled again.
So, and then there's and it doesn't mean like I don't feel like I'm capable of doing it. I think with training, of course, like this, working with personality disorders, I do feel like there's an extra level of training that has to happen, and even credentialing, if there's such a thing. I don't know, but I would even go as far to say, like, if you want to specialize in that, by all means do it, but make sure that you have the training to work with that population, because it can be a little difficult with being able to kind of maintain that relationship, and like really, and I'm very person-centered. So I don't see myself as an authoritative figure within my counseling relationship. I'm like a collaborator. And so with personality disorders, there has to be a very different type of relationship, and it has to be perfectly outlined for them to understand. Like, you cannot cross this boundary. You have to be very strict with your boundaries as a clinician working with that. So with her in particular, I think what I would start with is just understanding her reality, understanding her backstory, because as you mentioned before, the Wayans brothers don't do a really good job giving the female characters a lot of backstory.
She's the first one. She's the first one. She was the only, like, maybe like they time. I don't know what it was, but she's the only one. Like she's like, I've been on my own since I was 12. Like, not a full story, but she gives us like some context for her being a selfish bitch when she's like, I've been on my own since I was 12. Didn't nobody do shit for me. Or 13, how the fuck she was when didn't nobody want to take care of her no more, and she was forced to go out here in these mean streets on her own. But like, she gives us something so that like it's like, oh, okay, and then like we learn more about their relationship. I just wanted to say that like this was the only one, because every other single time is what the fuck. But like this one was the first time they like, there you go, they heard us. You know what it was? They heard us.
That's what it was. And yeah, that's what had happened. But I feel like I still need to know a little bit more. And I understand like she had to take care of herself, but you know, I feel like a lot of us might have been in that situation where we low key raised ourselves. You know, like what do they call it? Lock key, what is it? Latchkey kid. Like I think a lot of us were. So, you know, but we're not out here being narcissists. Let me take that back. I ain't even finish it. We're decent human beings.
We try. We do our best. She's not even trying. We can agree to that. Because, and I think too, especially with narcissism, like you said, maintaining very strict boundaries is going to be very important, especially even if you're just dealing with people who you see have some narcissistic traits. It's just maintaining those boundaries are going to be very important. And they also think that they are the smartest person in the room at all times. So sometimes, because, and two, I haven't been in a lot of settings where I've provided long-term therapy. I've been in a lot of brief therapy sessions. So I have run into some individuals who are displaying some narcissistic traits, and I allow them to be the smartest person in the room. That's the role that you feel like you have anyway. So I'm not going to try to match and challenge that. I'm going to feed into that and then ask these questions to get the more information so that you have to dance yourself into that circle to where you answer your own questions.
Yes.
Because I'm not about to get no power struggle with you.
It's a game. It's a game, like literally. And you have to let them know I'm not participating in your game. And if I do participate, it's to a certain extent, you know, and like you said, it's like, oh, I'm gonna let you feel like you're the smartest person in the room. Absolutely. Yep, sure. Because I will do that. You is.
And at the end of the day, the biggest point of how, like, I think too, just how I operate, like kind of like you were saying, with you being more so person-centered, you are the expert of your life. When it comes to you are the smartest person in the room about you. Don't nobody know you better than you. So go ahead and be the smartest person in this situation. Like Wayman is he entering into my spirit. But but I think that I'm gonna allow you to fill that role. Because you know what, right now, go ahead and be that. And let's see how this plays out. Because like you said, they're bringing how they are and exist in the world into session as well. So let me see how you are. And let's see how that counter transference plays out. What that brings up for me, because I'm going to know that that's what you're bringing up in other people. Is it that, it's like, you are this authority and you're so smart, you're so intelligent, I'm going to fall into this role? Or is it like, you an asshole, you annoying as shit? Or like, how are you being perceived in the world? Because I'm going to be able to see that from how you show up in the room.
Absolutely. And I think too, with working with her, it's going to be a matter of like having her tell me, work through and speak out loud what she feels a presenting problem is. And then working with her and helping her identify where things might have been, you know, different or the way that she might be thinking. So here's a pattern of your thought process. You know, I think, I don't know, and I might have to do my Googles, but I would assume that like a CBT approach would be beneficial, you know, maybe even a little DBT and dialectical behavioral therapy, and helping them like find that sense of self, that mindfulness, being empathetic, learning to be empathetic, because that's also part of the problem. We would do a lot of psychoeducation and learning to be empathetic. What does it mean to be empathetic?
Okay, we're talking a lot about Angela, but I have a question. Do you feel that people who are truly full-blown personality disorder, narcissism, do you feel that they can learn empathy, or that they learn the social norm of how to fake empathy?
Learn the social norm.
Of like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Not even necessarily fake, just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Do I necessarily feel it deep in my spirit, spirit and soul the way that other people do? Or is it like, can they actually learn that? Or is it that I learn like the rights and wrongs of how I'm supposed to move?
Maybe learn the rights and wrongs. And then also, okay, maybe they really just cannot understand how someone may be feeling in a particular situation, or really have that sense of like, I am in their shoes and this is how I would take this information. But at least acknowledging at the very start that there are different perspectives in a situation. Let's start there. Understanding that there are different perspectives and that every person and every individual has their unique worldview. And helping that individual learn that may help them start to adapt in ways of getting to the feelings. I can empathize with that feeling because your worldview, I could see and understand it this way, and therefore I can feel and understand it that way. Yeah.
Beautifully said, ma'am.
Thanks.
Okay, enough about Angela.
Yeah,
she was wrong for shame. Yeah, she got beat up. Jada Pinkett whooped her at the end of the movie. You know, all of the things. She put up a good fight though. She was in there 1-2 for a second. But anywho, moving right along to shame. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Did any other thoughts?
we need like embarrassment, like is there a diagnosis for extreme embarrassment? Because, you know, if you fuck up a mission real bad, you know what I mean, then it's
he didn't fuck up the mission, he was set up.
True shit. However,
he didn't know that.
He didn't know that, and therefore it's like, oh shit, I fucked this up. Like, yeah, I'm embarrassed. Like,
shame and guilt.
Shame and guilt. And you know, honestly, friends, that really should be in a DSM, because we all struggle with some form of shame and guilt. And it can be so debilitating that we don't even recognize, like, this is nothing but guilt. This is nothing but shame. I wonder why they call
that's why it's not in the DSM, is because it's something that it's not an exceptionality. It's something that we all struggle with. It's a common theme. And I think that disorders more so lie in exceptionality, something that is different from the norm. And because we do all function and have some level of shame and guilt about something from somewhere, whether it is placed upon us or it's something that we create within our own selves, it is how we navigate through that is what's different between us. And I think that is something that is just a general theme that could come up in therapy, as opposed like a full blown.
Yeah.
Because, you know, insurance don't want to reimburse us for stuff that's, you know, helpful for everybody.
Everyone feels that.
It's all right. It's fine. We all need help with that. No, you can't get paid for that.
Well, you know, that's funny. But with the way our society is looking and the way TikTok is acting, it seems like everyone is dealing with some form of anxiety or depression. Shit, I'm there. I mean, so if it's at that point, is it really exceptional? If it's really just a part of our everyday experience, such as shame and guilt?
I also think that there are times, I do agree that there are many more people who are experiencing depressed mood, experiences of anxiousness. I also think that there is a difference between generalized anxiety disorder and experiences of anxiousness. I feel like there's levels to this, homeboy. And I think that a lot of times, because someone feels anxiousness about something, it's, I have anxiety now.
Yeah. You're right.
Because there isn't the teaching of coping skills. They never learn how to address that uncomfortability that they're feeling. And there's a difference between just feeling uncomfortable, something not setting right with your spirit, and you not knowing how, you not paying attention to where you should be and how you should be moving, because we all have that inner voice that tell us, and those gut feelings, how we should be aligned. And if we're misaligned, it's not going to feel good. And sometimes I think that is perceived that way because TikTok is telling everybody that they're anxious and they got anxiety.
Yeah.
But I also think that there is a everyone is going to experience a depressed mood at some point in time in your life. That is normal. But I think, especially in American society, there is this fear of being uncomfortable. Like, experiencing discomfort is bad. You're not ever supposed to feel sad. If you're sad, then there's something wrong. There's what do you have to be sad about is like a question that's often asked, or you don't have nothing to be depressed about. Different things are said like that, and which I don't think is fair. And I also think that sometimes I think I'm using this word incorrectly, and that's why I can't ever say it, but pathologize. I think we pathologize. Yes, I said it right that time. Yeah. All right. We pathologize negative feelings when negative feelings are sometimes a part of life. You're not supposed to handle certain things happily. That would be incongruent. That would be weird. That would be diagnosable. You're supposed to have some. That's why bereavement is a whole category. Somebody passes. You're supposed to have feels about that. It's supposed to take time to recover. You have someone who is in a tough situation and you feel empathy for them. And so you feel you have negative feelings towards it. Like the world is fucking on fire. Like literally, because I'm in the state of New York and the sky is orange. And everyone's shooting everybody and the government not giving a damn. And shit is terrible. We're not supposed to feel good.
No, we are not. No.
But there's also not what do you do with that? How do you learn how to regulate to feel better? There's so much focus on the this is uncomfortable and not as much on okay, what are the things that we can do to build up resiliency? What are the things that we can do to build up self-regulation? What are those things that we can do? Because the fucking world is on fire and it's not about to get extinguished no time soon. How can you navigate through this and not go fucking insane?
Making a record down here.
Because people are going insane every day. So just that's why people is out here on drugs. Child, life is hard.
Man, listen, first of all, there is two things I have to say in response to that. True shit. People out here taking tranquilizers for drugs now, and I'm just like, wait, we've been doing this for 20 years. Where have I been? Like, it's people fingertips are falling off because of this. Like, I was blown away. Like, what? Girl, it's a whole article.
Not the fingertips. You lost your fingertips?
Man lost it. He had to get a whole mechanical arm. He looked like, he looked like a robot. Girl, he couldn't do this.
Not the hook. The claw's gonna get you. It's the claw.
Girl. So there is that. But also, to add to your point, yeah, I really do feel like we haven't learned how to cope. And, I think now the unfortunate thing is that social media is that happy place or that place where people cope. And so, yeah, the world is literally on fire, but it feels better when I'm able to scroll here, right? And it's like this escapism that we're all experiencing. And not to mention, once metaverse really takes over our lives.
It feels like we're in a really long episode of Black Mirror.
Oh my God, yes. Like literally. And I don't like the versions either way. We decide to watch them. I don't. They all suck. The ending just seems to really just not be great. So I do feel like, like you said, we are experiencing more people with anxiety, with depression. However, there's a difference between the anxious feeling, depressive feelings, and then the actual diagnosis. And so you said it beautifully, and being able to differentiate between the two, because it's important for us to do that. And I do agree that seems to be the topic of this session, of this recording, is like, get professional, opinion and help before you decide to diagnose yourself. It's hilarious to me because I even had a student tell me that my anxiety got so bad I couldn't come to class. Yet you've never been officially diagnosed. And how do I know this? Because you were getting a counseling session and they said you haven't been diagnosed. So you told on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people really do feel like, well, if I have this nervous feeling, if I'm constantly worried, then yeah, therefore I'm nervous. I'm anxious. But getting back to our discussion about shame, I do agree. PTSD to the fullest, with a lot of shame and guilt. A lot of shame and guilt. Yeah.
Shame.
Okay. But yeah, I think that added to this pressure, this idea that I need to take on this job because I'm the one that broke it. Therefore, I need to be the one that fixed it. Yeah.
I hate that for him. And so for kind of going through some of the diagnostic criteria that he fits as far as how he is presenting with post-traumatic stress disorder, he had the experience of the event. It is experiencing the intrusion symptoms with the distressing memories, the nightmares. The movie is this one is so good because all of the areas of lack in other films that we've done about them, even though I love them to death, there's no real areas of lack for me because I love y'all. But you left us hanging a couple times. But this one, it starts the movie off with this is what happened. Here's the news clippings. Here's the badge. Look, put the pieces right in front of you. I love it. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Because I'm a slow sometimes. Sometimes I just want you to lay it out. I don't want to have to think that much. So I appreciate them for this one. But we see him kind of going through the clippings. We see him going through the badge, setting the stuff on fire. Is yelling at Rock, talk about I've had my nightmares. So he didn't ask you about nightmares. You just okay. It's okay. You need a hug. We also see him avoiding people, places, and situations and feelings that are attached to that event, having a negative emotional state, diminished participation in activities. Rock asked, when's the last time you had a good time? You had fun. You went out. Went on a date. You look like shit. Clean yourself up. It was like one of them, what was the college commercials? You ain't doing shit with your life. You're sitting there on the couch. You look ugly as hell. You ain't got nothing going on. You might as well come to college. It basically was talking to him like that. But he has been the self-destructive behaviors with the suicide cases that he's taking on, how Rock describes them as well. And all of this is occurring since the incident has happened. So definitely within the time frame for it to qualify as meet diagnostic criteria rather for post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, my poor brother. But my question is, do you feel that this experience is retraining his brain enough to be able to process that situation and move forward? Or do you feel like he still is going to need full EMDR?
Full EMDR.
Real fast.
Yes. Well, because although he may have gotten through this and ended up victorious, I still feel like it hasn't healed the wounds that he might be still feeling. So he's still gonna need some additional talk therapy, EMDR, all the things. If he can get them all, let's get them all. Okay, I want to wrap around him. Let's get him some group counseling. Okay, make sure he's getting to the VA or no, he's not in the VA. He's not in the military.
I don't think that's what that is.
My bad. Wrong resource. I take it back.
But I'm sure, the police departments, they offer something like that.
They offer something. I will hope so, child, because some of these police officers,
they need it.
Ooh. Yes, they do.
They need it. I feel like it should be a requirement, quite honestly.
Honestly, and if you get caught in any type of shooting, whether it's you being shot or you doing the shooting itself, you need mandatory counseling. Mandatory.
The scenes that they have to walk up on, period, the dead bodies they have to encounter, all of that. Y'all need help processing all of that. You can't just then go play basketball with kids in the neighborhood after that. That ain't enough.
No wonder why y'all ready to shoot people, because you're triggered. You're constantly triggered. So I'm not making an excuse. However, I could see Shame ending up in the same type of situation. Right? Where it's he's keyed up and he hasn't really dealt with those high intense emotions. And so he's going to look for the next thing and he's going to find himself in another type of situation, this extreme where he might explode or do something wrong, and it'll just continue to cycle. So he needs to learn a little more.
I think it ties back to what we said greatly with what you just said of like finding himself in it again, because even if this does like rectify the botched raid that did happen, which was all a setup and it wasn't his fault at all, and I hate that he has taken full blame on himself in that way, but he doesn't, even if this fixes that, he's not learning any skills to move past the next something that could potentially happen. So if he does continue to fight crime and get the bad guys, the event that something else does potentially go wrong, he gets set up, or anything could happen. He never learned how to separate himself from the experience of it. And so like you said, it may then potentially be the next thing as a traumatic experience for him.
Yep.
Like get help, people. That's the title of the episode. Get help.
Get help, friends. That's what when you write it out. This episode is talking about how important it is for you to get help from professional, licensed professionals.
Yes, who do the work themselves as well. Because like you said, the police officers, they not doing what they need to do to take care of themselves, and they out here doing terrible things to our community. And we don't need no mental health professionals that's out here not taking care of themselves, doing harm to the community neither. So I'm talking to all of my professionals. Get y'all shit together too.
Okay, get in your bi-weekly sessions like me. I love my therapist. I love her. She's awesome.
How's that for you? And if you do not have a therapist and you're looking for one, you can go on our website and there is a link at the top where you can find a therapist in your local area.
Yeah.
Okay, last person that I fully diagnosed was Roth Miller, Rock. He was a greedy asshole and getting promoted for being a greedy asshole, and I diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder because to me, he's the real criminal. Out of all of the people in the film, it's him. He the bad guy.
Yeah.
Stupid motherfucker.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And the criteria that I felt that he met was failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behaviors by violating the law. How you the law and you can't abide by the law?
That's how it goes, don't it?
Ain't you supposed to uphold it? Anywho, deceitfulness as indicated by repeated lying. Irritability and aggressiveness. We see that with him and his interaction with Peaches. Come on, you bitch. You just mad because you got your ass whooped by a little girl.
Okay, exactly. He was a little scary thing, but she took him on.
Threw them hot, oatmeal grits, whatever it was, threw it at him. Reckless disregard for safety of others and lack of remorse, as indicated by being indifferent or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another. And we see that just, tragically, heartbreakingly, when Shame is like, why didn't you kill me? He said, somebody had to take the blame.
That's deep.
You ain't no good. You ain't no good. You ain't got no good in you. Ain't no good gonna come to you till you stop by doing right by people. But ain't no good gonna come to you now because you dead, stupid motherfucker.
You done. Exactly. So let me get this straight. So the part that he did that was unlawful was the fact that he hired Shame?
Child, no. So he set up. No, so the whole botched raid was all Rock's fault. He set that up. He was going to try to take the money. He betrayed the whole unit, but he was working with Mendoza the whole damn time and set all of that up. And then it didn't go how it was supposed to. And Angela took the money, but he was violating the law and being a crooked cop from before the movie even started. Yeah, from the beginning. And so then him continuing to work with Mendoza, all the way setting up Shame. And it was never really about getting Angela. It was about getting at Angela to get Shame taken out, make him take the blame again, and then get the money and go through the business deals and kill Angela at the end, which is what they were planning on doing. But because The Rock was just a dirty, filthy cop, just breaking the laws all the way through. And then was moving up went from LAPD to DEA and was doing all of this federal stuff now from being a shady, dirty cop. And I feel like that's how it happens in real life, which is why I don't trust
everywhere. It is so unfortunate. And I asked that because I was thinking to myself, like, why would Shame be allowed ethically to be on this case?
So he wasn't. So he was like, this is when Rock came into Shame, Low Down Dirty Shame headquarters. He was like, this is a off the books case. This is personal. This is just me.
But doesn't that sound crooked as hell? This is not off the books. This is just me.
But if you think that somebody is doing, he said it's personally made for you. You think that somebody is looking out for you, trying to get you a job, trying to do something to maybe the Bureau isn't ready to move forward in this way, but we know that you can get the job done, Shame. And the mission is to look for Angela. Like, we know that you love her and we know that you can find her. So it didn't seem fully out the way, but he knew his antennas, his little spidey senses went off when he knew that that was the only person that he told where Angela was. And then all of a sudden the goons is outside. And now we got to hijack the hooker in her John for her wig and his toupee so that we can escape and get up out of here and tie them up and put them in the elevator. It was just a mess, child. He was a mess. And lastly, matter of fact, the bad guy who they tried to make the bad guy, Mendoza, the drug dealer, I don't think nothing was wrong with him. He was a drug dealer, yes. But child, like, you beat up my cousin. First of all, in the first place, you stole my girlfriend. You lost my money. So like the drug deal didn't go through, and then I didn't get my money back. And then like the whole time you're trying to put me in jail. How is he supposed to act? You a cop and I'm a drug dealer. This is how our interactions is supposed to go. Am I wrong?
No, you were not wrong. I agree, friend. I agree. Girl, you did that. Spoiler alert. Is it too late?
I just had a couple questions about the film that just left some things that left me unsettled, I guess is the better phrase. For when Luis, the cousin, was running away from the white supremacists, he wasn't running hard enough for me. He was trying. They coming to kill you, bro. You better put some pep in your step.
He was like, I don't have a stuntman for me to run, so I'm just gonna give you my best effort. I don't run. I don't.
So that was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan addressed that in the future films. And two, so at the end, when Shame and Peaches is all hugged up, and they talking about how, Keenan done, put him a little money in the tuck. He gonna take care, finder's fee and my rate and all of these things. And he talking about how the money is adding up. And she say, so as your assistant, that means that I get two things here. First, he said you get $45 an hour, which is one. Damn. Okay. Minimum wage was low in 94.
$4.45. Here we are at 15, depending on what state you live in.
Depending on the state, child. Because there's still people out here on $7.25.
Child, I remember those days. Making $7.25 and commission.
Girl, you was getting commission. I was just getting hours.
Oh, just kidding. It wasn't $7.20. It was $5.25 because I was on commission. Oh, yeah. It was ugly. Mm-hmm.
But then he said, in addition, there's some perks and bonuses.
But they live together.
Still don't say they don't live together yet. But he still don't say how much money he about to break her off. He just give her a kiss. So does that mean like you just get to be my girlfriend? Bro, you better break me off some of that money. I don't want no dick if it mean I don't get no money. Bro, you owe me money. You didn't pay me back the money that you just talked about at the beginning of the movie. Them damn kisses and give me some dollars.
Did you take the kiss off?
I took the kisses off my lips and threw them back at him. Fuck them damn kisses and give me the kind of money that folds.
Patooey. That's you. I don't want your kiss.
Damn them kisses. Damn your relationship. Damn your weed. I don't want none of it. I want them dollars. Where them dollars at? Where them dollars at?
Yes. I mean, now that you bring it up, I do want to know how much did she get? How much did Angela steal?
So no, she had the whole trunk. So it was a whole bunch of money. It was millions and millions of dollars in there. And he talked about how much money he was giving for himself. He never said how much Peaches was getting. She just get, perks and bonuses. Bitch, what is perks and bonuses?
Yeah, we gonna have to find a new job. Indeed.
Is you buying me and Wayman a house? Like what? Where's
something?
I need something.
Right.
I need an itemized list.
Yes, itemized. Yes. With the dollar amount and everything.
Matter of fact, that's a paper trail. You're gonna send us to jail. No, I don't need an itemized list. But I need some numbers.
I like that you thought about that. Okay, criminal. I see you. We don't need paper trail.
Been training my whole life for these moments.
Shit. That's hilarious. Well, I hope she gets every dime that she deserves because she did her thing. She helped save him.
Thank you. So I need more than damn perks and bonuses. And that's benefits and whatever the hell he said, because it wasn't dollars. And that's all I got to say about that. You got any other remaining thoughts, ideas, things that you want to share with the people, friend?
I just think this whole movie is a low down dirty shame.
I hate your guts. Now, if you would like to support the show to help us get more content out to you all, you can visit our website and follow the Support the Show link to become a Patreon member or donate on our Cash App. Now, we're happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but just like Peaches, we need the kind that folds.
Damn it.
As always, be sure to follow us on Instagram at the DSM Podcast, and you can subscribe to our show wherever you get podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and leave us a comment because we are counselors and actually care about what you have to say. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Okay, bye, you cinephile.